How long will it take you to write your book? Now, do you have plans for when you want to finish your first draft, or are you playing it by ear? Now, I'm Michael with WriterSanctuary, and today I'm going to go over some of the benefits and drawbacks of setting a deadline for yourself when writing your book. Now, I use deadlines quite often when it comes to writing my books. And although I don't get to hit those deadlines as often as I'd like, they still work to keep me productive. So, what are some of the benefits of setting up a deadline for yourself? Well, first of all, it helps with motivation. I find that creating a deadline motivates me to write as much in the first draft as I possibly can each day. And because I don't try to make it perfect, I can usually keep up with my daily word count goals to reach that deadline. Well, that is until the kids and clients intervene, which happens a lot more than I would like. Another benefit to deadlines is that it creates a sense of urgency. Now, this can kind of go along with motivation. Unless you are given a cash advance from an agent or a publisher, you really don't have any reason to put in a lot of effort into writing your book. Now, you're only accountable to yourself, and some of us need something more than that. Now, creating a deadline can help create a sense of urgency that your first draft needs to be done by a certain amount of time. Another benefit is that you're able to publish more books. Now, if you're able to stick to your deadline, you could have more books published in a shorter amount of time. And I know somebody who's been working on a sequel to her book for the past 5 years. Now, of course, this also depends on how many books you want to write in the first place and what your purpose is for writing the book to begin with. Some people are okay with publishing one every 10 years, and if that's the case, then so be it. For me, I have a lot of stories to tell, and I can't wait for you all to read them. That means I don't want to spend the next 2 or 3 years working on the first draft. Another reason to set deadlines for yourself is the potential to make more money. The more content you get out there, the more chances you have to make money. And this is true whether you decide to do blogging, freelance writing, or writing your novel. Though this also really depends on how good you are at marketing your book and blogging to begin with. As I said before, if nobody knows your book exists, no one's going to buy it. Nevertheless, every book that you write and publish is one more that people can buy. Your next could be a smash hit, but you won't know until you finish writing the first draft and edit it. And you can do all that with a self imposed deadline. Now, another benefit that really hits close to home for me is boosting your self confidence. Now, one of the greatest benefits for me when publishing A Freelancer's Tale is how proud I was to write, edit, and publish the book. It was a momentous occasion, especially when it came to my self confidence. Now, I am quite confident when it comes to my abilities as a freelance writer, but not so much when it comes to publishing my books. Finishing the first draft vastly improved how I viewed myself. Meeting a goal to finish writing your book by a certain date will do amazing things for your level of self confidence. Another benefit of setting the deadline is providing realistic goals. Now, by setting a deadline, you get an idea of how much you have to write every day, especially if you use the Read the Writing app. It'll calculate just how many words you need to write per day by basing it off of the number of words you want for your book and the days that you plan on writing. Anyway, creating a deadline for yourself can help with goals that'll help you reach a lot of your dreams and aspirations. And lastly, I use deadlines for social accountability. Now, I announce every time that I am getting ready to write another book, and I publish when the first draft of each book is going to be completed to my audience. I am using them in addition to the deadline for accountability. And that's because I know there's a few people out there who are eagerly waiting for my next book to be written and published. And I don't want to disappoint them. Not to mention that one of my purposes for the YouTube channel is to help people in their own writing paths. Now, what good am I to help people if I can't even do it myself? Okay, so what about some of the drawbacks to setting a deadline? Now, to be perfectly honest, I sat here for like an hour trying to figure out some of the drawbacks, and I can only think of one. It's easy to get frustrated when you miss your goals. Now, setting a specific date for when you want your first draft to be done can accentuate the frustration you feel by not finishing the book on time. Now, this can lead to a myriad of health issues, especially if you're already prone to depression, stress, or anxiety. The trick is to not worry too much about it and postpone it for another date and continue writing. Like I said, unless someone has given you cash in advance to finish by a certain date, it really doesn't matter. I just haven't had a negative experience when setting deadlines outside of feeling frustrated. And then I realized that a lot of that has to do with my work schedule. I still have to pay my mortgage, which sometimes means missing out on some of the fun things that I want to do in life. Now, the trick to sticking with a deadline is to take it and yourself seriously. Now, I know it can be difficult at times, and unless you have somebody who's standing behind you cracking that whip, it's up to you to keep yourself writing. Now, start by creating a deadline and daily writing goals that are realistic to your lifestyle. Now, some of us have enough time in the day to write about 300 words, while others can crank out 2,000 inside of a 2-hour block. Create a goal that is right for you and your needs. Remember, in the grand scheme of things, you are only in competition with yourself. Set your own personal writing goals and work to surpass your own abilities. And at the end of the day, I love setting deadlines for myself. Now, despite having to postpone the books every so often, I feel that they are still worthwhile to reach my ultimate goals. And that is to do nothing but write books all day. Well, and the YouTube channel and the blogs. So I guess really not much would change, aside from not having to worry about clients. Anywho, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. For more videos about self-publishing, blogging, freelance writing, or anything else I cover, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. I think that's going to do it for me today. I have to get a blog post for next week. I'll see you next time.